Hello you Marsh Maltos. A very innovative and interesting little malt mention from Julian Laxey there. Thank you, Julian. And welcome, whisky fans and malt mates, to Ralphie Review 1031 Extras, in which I'm just going to take this opportunity in this Extras to talk about my Patreon channel. Because I don't, this channel, Ralphie.com, it's a little bit unusual. A little bit, well, you know it's eccentric, but it's a little bit unusual in that it is very much a niche rather than a generalist channel. And I'm focusing on really deep diving quality spirits that are designed to be sipped for flavour. So I don't make cocktails in this channel, although I will leave the option open for in the future for a laugh. But I don't review mixed drinks. So I'm reviewing sipping stuff. Primarily Scotch single malt whisky, but also occasionally some rum. And now and again I'll do a bourbon. Although, to be honest, the availability of good quality bourbon in the UK is very, very limited. It tends to remain in the USA, where unfortunately for bourbon drinkers there is bourbon fever. So there's an awful lot of shenanigans going on around the collectability of certain brands, and they're being hoovered up, harvested. People are paying crazy money for hard to find bottlings, and the retailers are pumping their own customers, playing psychology games on them because of limited availability, availability of rare bourbons which never seems to run out. So it's not that limited. And frankly, that puts me off the bourbon scene. It really does. I find it much more interesting to go to the rum scene, which is a lot more simple, straightforward and traditional. It just doesn't change much. And the diversity and interesting range of flavours within rums, particularly when they're bottled by independent bottlers, primarily whisky independent bottlers, you get some absolute crackers. And I can't really review much of them because there's just not a lot produced. You're talking about independent bottlers bringing out 1 barrel editions at a time. So a single cask edition of cask strength rum. Many of them actually have been secondary matured next whisky casks. And that maturation's happened in Scotland, and it's worked incredibly well. In fact, I've done it myself in my own little brand of Ralphie.com. When I celebrated 1,000 reviews, I bottled at a very fairly priced 15-year-old Foursquare Barbados rum, matured for 2 years in a fresh ex-Madeira cask from the Isle of Madeira, fortified wine. And it went down an absolute storm. Because it was the unexpected bottling. And really the only people who knew about it were my Patreon subscribers, because in this channel I don't tell you that I'm sponsored by. I don't have a lot of merchandise, so you don't see the fluffies and the hats and the t-shirts and what they call the softies and the squishies and all the rest of it. I don't have any of that because I can't control the quality of them. That's the reason. What I do is I have a Patreon channel. In the Patreon channel I give extra content, and I also give a monthly, for Patreon subscribers only, I have a monthly live stream here from the Bothy, which lasts roughly 2 hours and is primarily centred about questions that I get from my Patreon subscribers, and I answer the questions live, and I comment and give a wee bit of credit to folk who are commenting and leaving little mentions in the live stream dialogue. And At the moment, I'm also doing for Patreon subscribers Distillery Watch 2024, in which I'm going through the entire A to Z of Scotch whisky single malt distilleries, and I'm just giving an overview opinion on where I think these distilleries are at, and what they're bottling, and what they're worth. So there's a lot of additional content that if you want to subscribe to my Patreon channel, it's $3 a month. Now that's good value. And I'm really mentioning this in my extras just to make you aware of it, because I'm not sponsored by distilleries, and importantly, I don't get samples sent to me by distilleries for review, because I wouldn't do it. And I'll tell you why I wouldn't do it. Because what they do is they do best version bottlings. When they're sending the little samples off to experts, it's in the producer's interests to make sure it's the good stuff, the better version, the better edition. It's simply looking after business, so I don't criticise them for it. Business is business. But then you can get some glowing reviews which do not necessarily represent the whisky that's actually going into commercial bottles, because it's a different batch. It's not such a good batch. The casks involved are maybe not quite as on point. And again, this is just the reality of the landscape. So I'm a completely independent channel. I get income from my Google AdSense, Google advertising revenue, which is restricted because I'm not in the USA, and my narrative is about alcohol, which is heavily advertising restricted, so it doesn't generate that much. So most of my revenue comes from my Patreon subscribers, who, as well as the live streams, as well as the additional extras, there's a weekly extra video, additional features as well, and also I have a Discord channel. And there is a lot of very well informed, very clued up, very sharing and very informational subscribers providing real top quality content. So a big shout out to my Discord channel, the Bothy it's called, which you can only access through Patreon, because I give you a code once you've subscribed to Patreon. So essentially this extras is a promotional feature, because I have toyed with the idea about having maybe a whisky business out there sponsor the channel, but it really hasn't come to much, and it would be very modest because it would simply be, you know, a background badging. It would be the badging here, and I would leave it at that. And it really wouldn't be any one particular distillery, because I cannot support a specific distillery too much or too obviously, despite the fact that if I'm having any particular celebration, I'll always have a wee connect with Springbank, because Springbank primarily is the most important traditional distillery in Scotland. Scotch whisky's reputation needs Springbank. End of. Period. What else would add to that is that the single most important feature of any online whisky conversation is about connecting people with experience, connecting people with less experience to what are the good bottlings, what's the good stuff, what are you paying for it, and what shouldn't you pay for it. It's narrowing that gap, because we can all walk into a whisky shop and see some absolute batshit crazy prices, and we're invited by the industry to believe that it represents the worth of what's in the bottle, simply because of ambitious age statements or because of the fancy flask. The fact is, it's not the case. There are, take it from me, there are old whiskies out there, 30 plus years, which are completely dominated by casks that taste of old leather armchairs and bookcases. and not a lot else. But on first taste, particularly with the psychology of marketing, it can create a very favourable impression. And when people see the price, they believe that is the price. And for those with a lot of money, good luck to them. But most of us are on a budget, and it's really quite a tight budget. And that budget, by the way, is getting tighter. Hence the reason I've just reviewed this on my channel, Glen Scotia Double Cask. For the price, very good whisky if you're buying in the UK. Very good delivery, 46%, unchill filtered. It delivers. There are other whiskies out there that don't deliver in the price. You need to know the difference, and that's the reason for my channel. The primary mission of my channel is to share my experience to help you get better buys. And this is enhanced, it's amplified through my Patreon channel. So if you feel like subscribing, just give it a try for a month. See how you get on, see how you like it. You'll be made very, very welcome. And in the meantime, thank you to all my existing Patreon subscribers. I really appreciate your company and the quality of our engagement. I don't take it for granted. I know what it's worth. It's worth a lot. There you have it. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're interested in whiskey and other quality spirits, please do. We'll keep you updated and informed as to when my next video pops up, which is basically every single week of the year. And there you have it, at least 2.